All right, so Coach, man, tell me the beginning. Where's home for you? Where were you born and raised? Where you spend childhood?
Born and raised Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Was here until I was 9. Moved to Florida with my mom for 3 or 4 years.
Did not know that.
So born and raised Oklahoma City. My whole family's here in Oklahoma City. So this is my home.
Yeah. Now, when did you come back? You remember what age you were?
I came back in the 8th grade.
Oh.
In the 8th grade. Reasoning I came back was I wanted to play high school with my 2 cousins.
Yeah.
So that's the sole reason I came back was because I wanted to play high school with my cousins.
So I'm guessing y'all are pretty much the same age, cousins.
Zabe's a year younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
He graduated in 2009. CJ is 3 years older than me, so his senior year was my freshman year.
Mm-hmm. And I know who those two are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You come from some good stock.
Yeah. So our family tree of athletes is pretty good. So and that's what people say. So we come from a competitive and people say talented family.
That's a fact. Now, whenever you were deciding that you wanted to come back home, I know a lot of times that's sort of a weird age. You being early in your teens, you know, I know you were feeling like you're not a little boy anymore, but that's a pretty tough decision, I would think. Did your mom resist, or did she say, "All right, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go"?
Obviously I'm a mama's boy, so she didn't want me to go back, but she knew that my cousins are my best friends too.
Right.
And just to have that unique opportunity to play high school ball with them and be around them and come back to majority of my family. That was she didn't like it, but she understood it and now she loves it. She loved that I did it.
That's what I'm talking about. And before I dive into the high school chapter, when did you first start playing organized sports? Like, do you remember when the ball first started bouncing for you?
To be honest, I probably started dribbling the ball when I was born.
Yeah.
My first organized game, I was 3, and I played in a 4-year-old league at the YMCA. I just wanted to play.
Yeah.
With my dad being a high school ref,
right.
My whole family into basketball. I can go down the line. My uncle Joe Atkins played at Oklahoma State.
I know who Joe is.
John Marshall High School.
Yeah.
My dad played at Capitol Hill and Redlands. My mom was actually an All-State, or she was Player of the Year in Oklahoma her sophomore year, averaged 42 a game. And then she tore ACL junior year, so didn't play. In senior year, she was battling injuries, but I think she still averaged like 38. Before she went to, she played at Kansas.
Right.
My aunt as well, Xavier's mom, Barbara, track basketball, all-state basketball,
right.
And she went to Kansas as well. Half my family went to Kansas to play basketball, boys and girls side. So it's only about 2 of us. I went to University of Tulsa. Joe Atkins went to OSU. Right. And my sister was All-American at UCO.
Yeah, volleyball. It doesn't sound to me like you had much of a choice. You were gonna be good at basketball.
I had to be good at something. To sit at the dinner table, you had to bring something to the table.
I like that.
It's a competitive family. I think how I am as a coach now was because of my family. We were always competitive. We always wanted the best for each other, but we wanted to be the best in the house.
I like that.
That's just how we are. My sister coaches volleyball now at college, and it's all about being competitive. Thanksgiving, Christmas, it's competitive. Whether we're talking about back in the day when we played or, who's the best right this second.
Right.
It's competitive, but that's why we are the people we are now.
Did you have to have it forced on you at all, basketball, or was it like, hey, I want to play, Mom, Dad, I want to play?
It was always I wanted to play.
Gotcha.
It was always. Growing up with my dad being a high school college ref, I was just always in the gym.
Right.
So that's what I want to do. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I want to do. And then, seeing pictures of my mom, playing basketball, and then my dad and my uncle, go to Woods' gym on Saturdays and play, and I'm always there. So I just always wanted to play.
That's what I'm talking. Was it always basketball, or did you ever play another sport?
I played baseball up to freshman year of high school. And,
wow.
I actually really love baseball. A lot of people don't know that I love baseball. I hate being outside though, so that's the kicker. That's why in high school I didn't play baseball. I really did hate being outside.
Yeah, and spring is tricky in Oklahoma, man.
It is.
Like, in our minds, we think it's getting warm, but a lot of times it won't get warm until late April.
Yep, that's why I stopped playing. One day it was like 45, 48 something degrees, and then 2 days later it was like 85. So I'm like, I'm gonna go back in the gym.
Climate control.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. Now in high school, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm ready to go there. You went to Putnam City, right? Putnam City Original.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw your coach that you played for. Man, he's I won't say world renowned, but state renowned figure just recently passed, man.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about his impact and his influence on you. What was it like playing for him?
It was tough. Coach Birchy was tough. It was tough love. He loved you though, but man, he was tough. It was no such thing as an off day.
Right.
It was no excuses. He was by far the hardest coach I've ever played for, and it's not even close. But you will run through a wall for him because you know he loved you. You know if he's challenging you, he believes you can do it. So playing for him was hard, but if I can go back, I would go back and go through the hardest practice again with him because it was also fun.
Was he your first tough coach, or were you at all kind of prepped for such a thing?
I've had tough coaches. Now, the way he coached was a lot different. He was really tough, but he didn't use bad language. He always referred to a story in the Bible. Whether we're having a tough time and we're struggling, tired, he'll bring out a story from the Bible about someone being tired, but they kept pushing.
Right.
Or so he did it in a different way. So I had tough coaches, but he was by far the toughest. But the way he did it was just unique. He was able to connect with all different type of players. You're talking about from guards, forwards, white, black. He connected with everybody. He found a way to connect with you.
He transcended all of that. Huh?
Yeah, and it was in different ways, but he was able to connect with everybody. So playing for him was the best thing that could have happened. I'm here right now. I'm here coaching basketball because of Coach Birchy.
Now, did you know early on that this was what you wanted to get into? This is what you wanted your life to look like, or did it come from that experience?
It came from Coach Birchy.
Okay.
I heard people's always said, you have a great mind for basketball. Like you remember things.
Right.
And I just thought, I love the game.
Yeah.
But with Coach Birchy, one day he said, I did something in practice and I got on to somebody, and Coach said, I'm the coach. He said, you'll be a coach soon. And I was like, nah, I won't. He said, you'll be a coach soon. He said, you'll be a 10 times better coach than basketball player. And at that time, I've got D1 off or something.
Yeah,
No, I'm not. But when he said that, I started really thinking like, man, I guess I could coach. Like I could do it. It just clicked right in and there. He said it my senior year, and I always had it in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
So I just, when that time came, it was, I think Coach is right. So I got into it.
I got a knack and a passion for this kind of thing.
Yep.
Now, usually the way you just described him, and this is just from my vantage point, usually individuals like your coach, like Birchy, they sort of have this intimidating aura about them, and a lot of times people don't necessarily feel comfortable approaching that type of person and having a conversation. Did it take a minute for that ice to break between the two of you, or did you feel connected to where you could go sit in his office and have a conversation with him early in y'all's relationship?
I felt connected.
Okay.
Luckily, I had CJ played before I did, so I got to know Coach a little bit. But he is intimidating. I will say that I know there's a lot of kids in high school at Putnam City that never talked to Coach Birchy because they just thought he was mean.
Boogeyman.
But he was a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
But he was passionate about what he loved and what he did, and so it showed. But he's intimidating. Don't get me wrong. In practices, he'll get you to where you. It was fun, man. But he's a big teddy bear. He loved every player he had. He tried to stay connected to every player he had. He just wanted the best for everybody.
I feel that. From a coaching standpoint, we're the same age, and so we come from sort of the same era. And I have this back and forth with some of my close people in my life, and I'm just not convinced that a lot of the tactics that were used by coaches and instructors during our era can't work today. Now, maybe not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like some approaches need to stay where they are.
Yeah.
But some things could definitely be used today. To that, you say what? Do you agree with that, or you disagree?
I agree. It's some things. Coach Birchy did. Conditioning wise, that we were pretty much the cross country team.
Yeah.
But we ran so much, but we had to do it in sprints.
Right.
We ran and
pushing through those limits.
Yeah, and then he pushed us, to so many limits. It was. It's some things that I think I wish we could still do, but it's also because social media, people can just one wrong word in a tweet, with
no context.
Yeah, can go the wrong way. So it's a different era.
Yeah.
So it's different, but it's some things that, I mean, 90% of the things I teach and say are words that Coach Birchy said to me or one of my teammates. So
That's refreshing to know right there.
yep. So he one thing he always said was know your role, do your job.
That's a fact.
And I probably say that 5 times in practice. Just know your role, do your job. We had a saying all out all the time. And I mean, I don't even think twice about it. That's just things I've always heard and installed in my brain. So that's just what comes out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, as a player, would you consider yourself to be sort of an early bird or a late bloomer? And what I mean is, from a talent standpoint, I didn't have a lot of it in my beginning. All I could do was catch and shoot, and I had some height. Like everything else had to be developed over time. So I would consider myself to be a late bloomer. But a lot of my peers, they got going early. Now, some of them kept working, so they stayed good. But other ones, they slowed down and started to catch them. Like, what was it like for you? Were you always good?
I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, I hate saying it, but I'm gonna say yeah. It was. I just think I was so involved in basketball when I was early.
Yeah.
I was just smarter than people when I was earlier.
So your IQ took off.
Yeah, it's like, so, you know, I knew, okay, he can only dribble right, so make him go left. Like, that was just my mindset. Like, I just knew that. It was just things, you know, being around basketball, my family. I think I was an early bloomer when it comes to IQ.
Yeah.
I mean, skill-wise, I was. It was weird for me because my role completely shifted my sophomore year of high school. You know, before then, I did nothing but score the ball. Shooting, driving the hole doesn't matter. I was scoring the ball.
Yeah, that was your role.
I couldn't spell defense.
Straight up.
I probably count the number of passes in my head right now on my hands. That just wasn't me. And Coach Birchy came to me going into my sophomore year, and my freshman year, I played on the freshman team, JV team, and on the varsity team.
I love that.
I never got in the varsity game because I was the backup to CJ. CJ never came out the game.
True. Fair enough.
But on the freshman team, my freshman year, I averaged like 29. Like I was just scoring everything. On the JV team, I let the JV team in scoring, mainly because we just had a whole bunch of football players playing basketball. So they did all the hard work defensively, and they just gave me the ball. So you know, my sophomore year, I came in and I'm thinking I've got a chance to start varsity, and I'm gonna score. Like I'm scoring. And Coach Birchy talked to me, and he said, I want you to be a playmaker. And
as a sophomore,
yeah,
right?
And then I said, yeah, I mean, I didn't question him, but I was like, I've never been a playmaker. What are you talking about? And I know why he was doing it. You know, my cousin Zawi was coming in, top middle school player in the nation. I had to swallow my pride and just understand he is a better scorer than I am.
Gotcha.
I mean, we had other guys like Keith Clark, Moose, who was a senior.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he said, for you to play, you got to be a playmaker. And I didn't think I can do that. And he said, you also got to defend. And I was like, I mean, that's stuff I kind of did. I did it enough to where he couldn't yell at me.
Right. Enough to keep you on the floor?
Yeah, so, you know, summer league, you know, I wasn't getting a lot of shots. I mean, I was unhappy. And Coach knew I was unhappy. Right. I was unhappy.
Did you vocalize it, or it was just kind of in your disposition?
It showed. It showed. I was unhappy. I wasn't starting. I was playing a little bit. And then, over the summer, I just thought to myself, man, whatever I got to do. I want to play. I don't want to sit on the bench.
I feel that.
And then he sat down and talked to me again. He said, you know, you're a really good passer. I don't pass. What are you talking about? He said
I don't pass.
Yeah, he said, well, the 10 passes that you made were amazing passes.
Yeah.
Those are things that no one else on our team had seen, but you saw them. So I just, preseason my sophomore year, I guarded Zabe every day.
Right. Was that a conscious move, or did Coach match that up?
I always wanted to. Okay. I mean, because we competed since the day we were born anyways.
Yeah.
So, and I thought if anyone can stop them, it's going to be me. So I play one-on-one with them every day. It was just, and I wanted to win. And I knew, I had to guard him for my team to win, no matter if it was pickup or not.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's how I became a good defender. I just dialed in on guarding him. And playmaking-wise, I just told myself, I'm not going to shoot. Say during pickup today, I'm not going to shoot. I'm going to try to win games without shooting the ball. And
how long did that last?
Until I retired basketball after college.
Straight up. Okay, now break this down for me, because I know what you mean when you say playmaker, but to an average fan of the game or casual fan of the game, playmaking may mean point guard in somebody's minds. Was that your role at that time? Did you morph into a point guard?
I transformed into a point guard.
Straight up.
I transformed to where I went from a 2 guard, 3 guard, taking a whole bunch of shots to I was the point guard. I was making plays for others. I initiated the offense, and it's weird because it's just crazy how you can go from taking a whole bunch of shots to I can go 3 or 4 games and only take 3 shots total. But I will have, average 9, 10 assists a game, or I have 7, 8 rebounds, and I'll be guarding the best player the whole time. And I will say no help. I don't want help.
Sure.
And that's because of Coach Birchy. Like he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And truthfully, that's the reason I went to play Division I basketball was because I transformed myself to where I could be one of the best players, if not the best player on the court, without taking a shot.
How tall were you and when you were going through this metamorphosis, so to speak?
Through high school, freshman year I was about 6'2", and I graduated at 6'6".
So your sophomore year, whenever you're a point guard, but like you're 6.
I was 6'4".
Dude, in Oklahoma, man, that's a rarity.
Yeah, and we were blessed at Putnam City for several years of just having a big team. My senior year, I started point guard at 6'6", Zave was 6'6", 2 guard. We had Hunter Gibson was 6'4", Garen Wright was 6'4", Joy Williamson was 6'3", Tyler Earls was 6'3". Then our quote unquote center was one of my good friends, Nico Germany. He was 5'10". We were the complete opposite.
Had a limited skill set. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, he was a football player that could guard anybody.
Yeah.
So it was we always had size. And I was fortunate enough to where I could handle the ball. I could see the floor, and my sophomore year I just took off of being a playmaker, something. Not my family. My family is not known for playmakers. I'm talking about Joe Atkins led the state in scoring before. CJ Zavi led the state in scoring before. My mom led the state in scoring before.
Sure.
And I'm turned on a new role, and I'm glad I did. I wouldn't be here if I didn't make that change. I see the game a whole lot different now. And I tell kids all the time, you don't have to score 50 points to go to college. My senior year, I scored 10 points. I averaged 10 points. And I was a Division I basketball player.
Yeah.
So, I tell them, coach is going to recognize talent. They're going to recognize talent. They're going to recognize what you can do well. And, I was fortunate enough to, do that. And that's why I tell kids I'm a product of what I preach. You don't have to score 20. You don't have to be in the newspaper every day or now on Twitter and all that.
Right.
Just, like Coach Birchy said, know your role, do your job. And if you do it well enough, you'll get noticed.
That's a principle that's a fundamental principle in life, dude. I'm telling you, I got to practice that one every day.
Yep.
As soon as I get to looking east and west at somebody else and what they got going on, I'm like, that's not my job. I got to stay laser focused.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we haven't talked about your AAU experience. I'm assuming, we haven't had this conversation before, but I'm assuming you played some basketball for somebody. What were those experiences like? Who'd you run with and how was it?
Most of my time I played with Athletes First.
Okay.
I jumped to PWP for a year, but mostly I was with Athletes First. So, I played with guys, Blake Griffin, Moose, Sam Bradford. People don't know Sam Bradford was a sniper from the three-point line. Kay Davis, he played at OU, like Xavier Alexander, Daniel Orden, Zave Henry, Kyle Hardrick, Dante Foster. I played with some of the best players in Oklahoma during that little era that we had. And so that's who I played with, and we played some of the best teams. And then when I played with PWP, Keaton Page, Ken Holman, Rodney Clark played a little bit with us. So it was unique to play with both teams. So that was my AU experience, and we were Nike, so we played all the Nike events. My favorite game was probably when we played Derrick Rose and Eric Gordon.
Yeah, mean streets.
Man, and they were mean. They were mean. That was and people are crazy. People think I'm crazy when I say this, but when we played them, we were arguing because none of us wanted to guard Eric Gordon. So I was like, I'll guard Derrick Rose. That's crazy to think that you was raising your hand like, I got Derrick. Like, no, I don't want Eric.
I don't want no part of Eric.
Because Derrick wasn't a good shooter, so you can back off a little bit.
True.
Eric Gordon was the best high school player I seen. He was 210, he was 6'4", he could jump out the gym, and he could shoot from half court. I've never been scared to guard someone, but I didn't want to guard him. So it's like, man, I just don't. Like, he doesn't have a weakness. So let me guard, the MVP of the league, Derrick Rose. So
I got to watch them play one time. I was playing with the Tulsa Titans. That was my AAU organization for all those years. We were playing at the Kingwood Classic in Houston, and
Yep.
we were off a game. And here comes Derrick Rose and Eric Gordon. I didn't know who Eric Gordon was until the game started. So my experience watching them was similar to what you just described. I'm like, here's the guy with all the pub. Talking about Rose, he was taking it easy, coming down, being a point guard, and setting the table. And Gordon was getting loose, dude.
Yep.
I'm talking about the quick trigger, hand right here.
Bam. He was a bucket, and they actually both dealt with injuries in the league, but man, Eric Gordon was the real deal. Obviously he was drafted high still, but he went to Indiana, so he didn't go to like a Duke, Kentucky.
Right,
so
Blue Bloods.
Yeah, so he didn't get all the hype that Derrick Rose did, and Kyle Singler, who people don't know, Kyle Singler was the real deal in high school. We called him Baby Dirk. He was 6'8", 6'9", and could do everything.
That's a freaking nation right there.
So that senior class right there, they were really good, and it was always good competition. As a player, it was always competition, and I just try to bring that into coaching too. So I compete. That's what I do. So I compete. I try to outsmart the other coach. I try to know all their plays. I'm playing the coach one-on-one pretty much, but I was actually being on the court.
Right.
That's how I say it. I'm trying to outsmart them, out-execute them, trick them, make them look silly. That's just who I am.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Tactics. And I like how you touched on that. You know what I mean? But since you said it, I gotta throw that out there. Now, would you say maybe the word right or wrong is not the word to use? I guess that's your way. But what I always think about it is, shouldn't we try and prepare our guys to outplay that coach and his guys?
Yep.
A mental battle between the coaches. Sometimes you don't have the personnel, but how does that work for you? You got some personnel that can back you up?
Yeah. Luckily, I've always been fortunate enough to have a high IQ team.
All right.
We might be really talented, or we might not be as talented, but we are so high IQ that we put ourselves in a position to succeed, to win the game, give ourselves the best chance to win the game. Now that may be scoring 80 points and running up to scoring you. It might be slowing it up, locking up on defense, and minimizing the possessions.
Right.
So luckily enough, throughout high school and AAU ball, I had some talented kids that helped me out on that. But I'll always do my part. I tell kids all the time, I'm going to do my part. You do your part. My part is to prepare you guys. My part is to let you guys know, here's the game plan. This is how we're going to execute it. These are each player on the other team's tendencies. These are their plays. Now, I may not know the name of the plays, but trust me, we're going to have a code name for when they, run a play. Our code name is box. When we call out box, they're running this type of play, and we already know.
Right.
So it's a complete team effort, but we prepare. A lot of people don't show up to practices to see us, but we prepare. We have a scouting report of each player and their plays, and we try to scare people by knowing their plays. So they don't think they can do anything because we know it.
And you actually did that to me in mine last year, man. I was coaching at Tecumseh, and I can remember calling out a certain set, and as soon as I would say it out loud, your players and you will be reciting the same. Hey, it's you.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was good, man.
We call it out, and I tell my boys all the time, we may not know the play, but call it out. Just call it and make it seem like it. But most of the time, we do know the play, and it gives us an advantage. I don't know about other coaches, but I try to put in the time. I try to put in the work because I want my boys to put in the time, put in the work. So if I'm asking them to go in the gym, get some extra shots up, well, why shouldn't I watch a little extra film? Why shouldn't I, scout a little bit more? I can go on a date with my girlfriend, but I'm gonna go squeeze in a little scouting, and then I'm gonna take her out. I try to balance everything. But if I'm gonna ask my boys to, go the extra mile, get some extra shots up, get in the weight room, run a little bit extra during the season, then I should be doing it too.
I feel that. Now, when it comes to the whole laundry list of things that a head coach is responsible for, not to say that you aren't good at everything, but not everything is going to be something that you love to do. Is there any department of your whole plight that you would say is not your favorite thing?
Man, I really do. I really do enjoy everything that comes with coaching. If I had to write them in order, and just what just happened to be at the bottom,
right?
It'll probably be dealing with seniors their last game.
Ooh.
I mean that's just because if we don't win state, I put it on myself that I let them down, that I didn't do more.
True.
So I feel like that I let them down. That's something that I don't like. I mean, that's why I want to win. So I want to win so we can celebrate. I don't want to be sad that my seniors are leaving.
Right.
You know, that's one I hate giving that speech.
True.
I hate giving that speech at the end of the year. But I'm fortunate enough to give that speech. I'm fortunate enough to, feel the way I feel because we didn't achieve our goals that we worked so hard for. So that's one thing I really don't like. Is it dealing with a whole bunch of egos? If we even have egos.
Yeah.
But it's dealing with egos. It's don't have an ego. We have one goal and that's to win.
Keyword.
Yeah. So again, know your role, do your job. So it could be simple. I just want you to guard or spot up or whatever the case may be. But we have one goal as a team, and it's to win the next game. That's our only goal we have. Each coach have goals each year. We have one, win the next game.
Right.
So the first game of the year, win that game.
True.
The next game, win that game. So even if we lose the game before, the goal is win the next game.
Singular focus. Now, since you said ego, you made me think of something, so I got to jump back. When you talked about that AAU team of yours, well, both teams, Athletes First and PWP, loaded with talent.
Mm-hmm.
You just named a whole bunch of names that everybody's going to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What was your role with that group? Because they sound obviously more talented than your school teams from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, was it rough figuring out how you were going to exist in that space with all of them?
Not really, because up until sophomore year, they just told me to shoot the ball. So just shoot it. I mean, we got Blake down low. They're gonna double team him, pass it out, shoot it.
And you're lefty. So
and if you miss, don't worry. Daniel Order probably tip it in. I mean, but the good thing about especially with both teams is we were all good friends off the court. It wasn't like there was a whole bunch of strangers coming to play.
Right.
Just a whole bunch of talented strangers coming to play. We were actually all really good friends. I mean, obviously Zabe is my cousin, so we've been together forever. But Daniel Orton I consider a cousin because we've been together since I moved back in 8th grade, and I knew him before then when I came and visit. Blake Griffin, dad, Coach Joe, my uncle Joe Atkins at John Marshall. So I knew him. I knew Blake and Taylor, before I even knew, Blake was going to be Blake, Taylor's going to be Taylor. I just saw him as, Coach Griffin's kids that I got to shoot around with after the game while Coach Griffin's in the locker room talking to the boys. So, Xavier Alexander, I consider him a cousin because our families are so close. So we were all friends. So it just came easy that if we win, we're all going to win. We're all talented. And then when we get to our high school teams, and most of us were separate, then we can showcase all of our talent. But with this team, here's your role. Let's do it. Let's win. Get coaches come watch us. Go to high school. We can show them everything else we got.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And take me into your college experience because, you told me, and I really only found this out maybe a couple of weeks ago, that you went to TU, right? University of Tulsa, right out of high school, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you remember, we ended up crossing paths when I was playing at USAO and you were playing at St. Gregory.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, tell me about that plight. What was the first moment when you realized, oh, snap, this is a different level?
I would say probably my first practice. My first
practice or workout?
Official practice.
Okay.
Workouts. We did the workouts, and that was easy. We was playing pickup games. Preseason.
That's the good stuff.
I'm like, man, I'm doing well. That first practice was just tough. It was different. It was just real different. The coach I had, Coach Woj, he was tough. But he was tough in a different way that I wasn't used to. I think Coach Birchy was tougher, but Coach Birchy was tough with love. You knew he loved you. You knew that, I felt that. And, with Coach Woj, I didn't feel it. And I wish I could go back and handle it differently. I think I was just like, man, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Dude don't care about me, this or that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I wish I could go back and change it. I wish I could go back and just change my whole recruiting process and all of that because, I should have went on more visits. I had multiple schools wanting me to come on a visit. I was just set with going to Tulsa because, I just enjoyed the school. I thought, man, getting an education from here, set me up for life, outside. I committed to Tulsa It did. I canceled my visit to Wichita State, canceled my visit to Missouri State, which I shouldn't have.
Right.
I shouldn't have, and I tell kids all the time, take your visits. And one thing I didn't do when I went to TU on my visit was I didn't ask questions. And they kept asking me, "You have any questions? You got any questions? I was like, no, I don't."
Did you have any questions though?
Looking back, I have questions now. I mean, but I look back and say, man, there's a lot of questions I should have asked. I just didn't. I was just like, I'm going here.
Yeah.
But I mean, I should have asked more questions. Because they may have answered it a way I didn't like. Not saying it was the wrong answer, just the way I didn't like it. Maybe I was like, maybe I'll go explore another school,
right.
Ask the same question. I may like that answer, and go a different route. So I tell kids all the time, don't be afraid to ask questions. I made the mistake of doing that. So I tell kids all the time, our point guard last year, Cedric. I told him,
He's a player too.
I told him when you go on your visit to Allen and wherever else, ask questions. Ask, what's the plan? What does, the program can do for you? What can you do for the program? Ask about education. Ask about, meals. Ask any question. No question's a dumb question.
Right.
I didn't do that, and I should have. And that's the reason why I eventually left. I wasn't happy. But I think if I was to ask questions or explore other options throughout my recruiting process, it would turn out differently.
I think that's a good word, man, because I can remember I ended up going junior college, going that route. And there's no knock to that at all, but I was so ignorant to that whole process that you broke down. So in hindsight, you had me thinking, did I ask any questions? And the answer is no. But the other half of that is like, I didn't know to ask questions. I didn't know what questions to ask. And I was just like having no experience. So that hindsight is that's a real deal. Yeah. Now let me ask you this. Maybe you thought about this then, maybe you think about it this way now, but did you cancel those other visits because you didn't want to get conflicted? Or was it just like,
Man, I was just set on going to Tulsa.
Straight up.
And looking back on it, I don't know why I was so set on going to Tulsa other than, people saying, I had teachers saying, well, you got off from Tulsa. That's a great school for education. This, that, blah, blah. But, I don't know why I was so set on Tulsa. I just was. I didn't have a friend there, nothing. What helped was my best friend from Putnam City, Bobby Smith, got an offer to play football there. He did commit there, and that kind of just sold me. Bang, he's going. I'm for sure going. I'm not 98% sure now. I'm 100% sure. But it was just. It's just a learning experience. I don't regret anything that happened in my life. And that was a step that now I can teach kids. I went through that process. Now I'm in a position to help kids go through that process. Tell them, hey, these are the mistakes I made. I was quiet. I didn't ask questions. Don't do it. That's a mistake I made. So I never regret anything. I don't regret, transferring, that it didn't work out, nothing like that, because it made me the person I am today. It helps me help kids, my players. So it's been, I hated the process when I was going through it, transferring and all that stuff. But looking back, I'm like, it made me to who I am today. And I'm fortunate for it.
Did you leave after 1 year?
Yep, one.
After one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now how was it? How was that? I'm assuming that there was an exchange at some point between you and Coach Wojcik. You telling him, hey, this is thanks for the opportunity, but I'm getting ready to make a move. How was that, man?
It was tough. I guess my body language wasn't the best at practice after a while. And he said he saw it coming. He saw I wasn't happy. But we sat down and talked. I didn't think. I thought I was going to go in there, say what I had to say, and be done. But we actually sat down and had a conversation. And the two assistant coaches that I was, and that's another reason. The two assistants they had. I really enjoyed Coach Ballard, who's a head coach now, Coach Kason, who is an associate head coach. I love both those guys. Those guys. On the court, off the court, they taught me a lot of stuff.
Right.
So, sitting down talking with them, it went a different route. It was, I thought they were going to be, all right, yeah, whatever, all right, you don't want to be a part of our program, go. But it was, so what's your next step? Where do you want to go? Can we help you get there? Sure. Is your grades in line, which they do. My grade situation, it was good, but, they was really helpful. They checked in on me, so I'm grateful for that. It taught me that if it don't go the right way, you can still be a good person, still be good coaches.
Yeah.
And I just told him, man, I wasn't happy. And I just wanted to explore other options, and I mean that's what it was. And looking back, I'm happy I did it because I wasn't happy. If you're not happy somewhere, then you shouldn't be there. I mean, yeah, I went Division I, but I tell people all the time, Division I is not the end all to be all. I mean, it's great to say you went Division I. It's great to play Division I. It's great to have the talent for a college coach to offer you a Division I scholarship. But I found out NAIA has some of the best talent too. I mean, OBU was talented. OCU is talented. So I tell kids all the time, don't get wrapped up in the name of a school. Don't get wrapped up in the division. I take advantage of the free education. That's the most important thing. And that's all my parents said was, as long as I'm getting my school paid for, I didn't have to have a summer job. My job was to get my school paid for. So if I'm getting my school paid for through basketball, I better be in the gym every day.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I mean, it's all about getting your school paid for. I mean, using basketball to help your parents out not paying for school, help yourself out for not taking out a loan. I learned a lot of life lessons through basketball.
Oh yeah.
And I tell people all the time, you can teach life through basketball, and that's my job as a coach, is to teach them the same thing their parents or their teachers are teaching them. I'm just doing it a different way. I'm doing it with a basketball in their hand, but it's commitment, it's dedication, it's hard work, it's trust. So that's all stuff that we use today as adults. But, I use it now to teach the kids, this other kid depends on you. So, but 15, 20 years later, your coworker is going to depend on you.
That's a fact.
You got to communicate with them. You got to work with them. You got to work with others.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and you may not like them.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Life.
You got to swallow your pride. You may not like them, I don't care if y'all are best friends off the court, but on the court, y'all better be the bestest of friends.
That's right. I like how you said the best.
Yeah, the bestest of friends.
Yeah, I dig it, man. Yeah. So how did the St. Gregory's gig come about? Did it take a while for you to land on your feet in another situation, or was it pretty instantaneous? Man,
it's weird. When I announced I was transferring and I had to go through this, some type of system through transferring, and I went to the administration where we're at Tulsa, said I was transferring. They typed something on the computer. I didn't know what they was typing.
Right. It looked official though.
Yeah. I walked out and bang, junior college called me. Like within 10 minutes, junior college called me, and how do they know I'm transferring?
Yeah.
Another school call, another school call, another school call, another school call.
What are they checking to get?
Yeah, how do they know I'm transferring? I'm like, it's no way the coaches.
And the social media wasn't just booming. Yet.
No, so it was.
We ain't that old, by the way.
No, so it was. So I talked to a lot of schools.
Right.
I was actually set on going to Oklahoma Christian.
Right.
And then
another good program.
Yep, and then one of my good friends, John Clark, was at St. Greg's. And he was my best friend through high school. My sophomore year was his freshman year of high school. And we always wanted to play together, always. And he called and said, hey, man, I know it ain't going to happen, but come to St. Greg's. Come, let's play, because we should have played high school together. And I talked to Coach Martin at St. Greg's, and I related to him a lot. He was a young guy, young coach, energetic. I'm a player's coach where we connected, so we could talk basketball really well. So I eventually went there. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was a good experience. It was fun. It was, exciting. So, I have no regrets on that.
Dude, do you happen to know anything behind why the school closed?
I've heard rumors, but I don't know. I
didn't see that coming, man.
Yeah, I heard rumors of it happening, but
before it actually happened.
Yes, but I was just.
We moved on by that.
I stay in my lane, and I don't know. I didn't try to dig into it. If it happened, it happened. So it's crazy that it did shut down, though. I've never heard of a college shutting down.
Right.
So that's a weird deal. It sucks because it affected a lot of people. It affected a lot of kids there. A lot of alumni, love that school and stuff like that. So it affected a lot of people. So it's a sad deal.
Definitely. But life goes on, as they say.
Yep.
Sound insensitive, but it goes on.
It's true. So you can't change it. The past is the past, and you can't change it. You gotta move on from it.
So once you moved on, you finished your college career, you graduated. How soon thereafter did you start coaching? When did you become a full-fledged adult?
The Faith 7 game is in June, I believe, and it was in Shawnee, and I was still living in Shawnee.
Okay.
So I went to the Phase 7 game. My dad refs the Phase 7 game all the time, every year. So I go to see him. I see Coach Andy Fisher, used to be at McGinnis, was here at Mount St. Mary's. I trained at a gym in Edmond all summer from the day I moved back until the day I stopped playing. And he's always there. He was always on the other side with some other guys. And I mean, he was on this half, I was on this half. He's training somebody, I'm just working on my game.
There you go.
So I saw him at the game. So I sat next to him. And he said, asked me how I was doing, this, that, blah, blah, catching up. And he said, I got the Mount St. Mary job. He said, do you want to come coach with me? And I thought about it, and I said, I never coached before. He said, I know, but I've seen you in the gym. I know you're a hard worker. You want to win. Right. I know you're a great kid. And he said, come to Mount St. Mary's with me. So whenever the Phase 7 game is sometime in June. So the June after my senior year, I'm here.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how long have you been here at Mount St. Mary's?
This will be my 8th year. I literally came here right after I graduated. So I was 23.
Right.
So yeah, this is my 8th year. I was with Coach Fisher the first 2 years. Kellen McCoy got the job after that. And I stayed with him, and he turned out to be one of my best friends now. And so it went from not really knowing of him in high school, not knowing him though, to coaching with him, and now he's one of my best friends. And then he went on to Norman North, and I got the position. So this will be my 2nd year as the head coach.
2nd year as the head coach, man. That's big time, brother. Yeah. Now, what are some noticeable differences? Maybe not from a tactical standpoint, because preparation is preparation, but going from being an assistant to sitting in that driver's seat, I would imagine in some capacity your workload has gotten a little larger. Like, what are some of the things you got to deal with now, since you're the guy that you didn't have to deal with when you weren't the guy?
On the court, I was fortunate enough with Kellen. We worked really well together. Mm-hmm. He let me speak my mind. He let me, call out plays. Okay. He let me, do the scouting report. He let me come up with the game plan. He let me voice my opinions, talk to players during timeouts. So, and we worked really well together. So I think it was just a good gel of, we trusted each other. So it was, hey, Brandon, what's the next play? Or then it got to the point to where he wasn't asking, I was just calling out.
There you go.
Sometimes it didn't work. Sometimes they look at me like, no, we ain't running that again.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we trusted each other, and
no egos.
Yeah. And so it got to, having him as the head coach and me as the assistant really helped me become a head coach, because I slowly started doing it while he was still the head coach. He helped me. He kind of groomed me. I was slowly doing it. We was both learning. We're both still young coaching.
Right.
We're just always bouncing ideas off each other. And he's a competitor too. You talk about, I'm 6'6", in high school I was 170. I was still skinny, but I was real skinny then. So I was always doubted, and Kellen is 5'7", 5'8". So he was always doubted. So we meshed together to where
2 underdogs.
Yeah, and we took on that underdog role, and just slowly, him slowly giving me more and more responsibilities, to where when I made the switch, it was just easy. It was an easy switch. It wasn't nothing I didn't already do.
Right.
Everything I'm doing now, I did as an assistant coach too. The only difference is I'm standing up.
Standing up on the sideline.
But other than that, saying that, I stood up a lot as assistant, which you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But I stood up.
Coach, get your bench on the drawer.
Yeah, it's like I stood up. I stood up a lot as an assistant. So it was, just that slow process of him trusting me, us having a great relationship. It was an easy transition. It was a smooth transition. I'm fortunate for it.
That's a beautiful thing. Now I gotta run this at you, because we both started in this business at around the same age. Was there maybe, let's say, a gap to bridge, so to speak, between you being a 23-year-old young man and the oldest kid in the program being 18? All right, because I knew coming in I couldn't get on those girls as if I had all this credibility.
Yeah.
Because I'm brand new and we're in the same generation, basically. Did it take a minute for you to figure out how to communicate with those guys?
Looking back, I'm trying to think of what did I do to bridge that gap, because I was 23, and that my first year here, I think 12 of our 15 players were seniors. They were 18.
Yeah.
What I did mostly was I practiced with them.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't on the sideline barking orders at them.
Right.
I was actually on the court doing it. And if I saw a guy not hedging hard, well, I turn into the point guard. I have a guy come set a screen, and I'll attack him and go score. And I say, that's why you should hedge, because now I got a full head of steam. You're not able to stop me. So I did it by like example. Like I was on the court, like, this is why you do this, because I just blew past you, or this is why you retreat dribble with your eyes up, because I came and trapped you. You had no idea what to do. So I did it kind of just on the court for, I would say, the 2 years Fisher was here. I did a lot of scouting report stuff too, but most of my coaching was
hands-on.
Literally was hands-on. I practiced with them. I ran with them so they can run hard. I practiced, so just teaching them that way. Coach Fisher and the other coaches were barking orders, but I was on the court actually doing it, telling them this is why you do it, because that's why you didn't stop me, or that's why he got over because I set a good screen. Whatever the case may be.
So you were doing more than just telling them, you were showing them.
Yeah.
And as a boy, myself, I'm a man now, but you know how fellas are. We size up another cat that comes to the gym if he looks even close to our age. Mm-hmm. And so whenever you show him, I still got some juice. Yeah. And I'm still the best player in this gym, including all of y'all. It's a certain reverence they start to show you after a while. Like, all right, let me listen to this guy.
Yeah, so it helped that I was able to relate to him. I'm like, I just got done playing college basketball 4 months ago. It was easy for them to relate to me, because they literally, some of these kids saw me play in high school. True. So they were like, we're gonna, we relate to him. He's close to our age. He still plays. He listens to the same music we listen to. It was so they related to me so much to where I had a good connection with him.
That's good, man. So now we up here. We're at Mount St. Mary's Junior, second year as a head coach. Now you don't have just one program that you're the head coach of. You got both. All right, you're the head boys coach and you're the head girls basketball coach.
Yep.
I got a lot of questions about that. First of all, the age-old question: what is the difference in your estimation between coaching boys versus coaching girls? Not to say that one is better or worse than the other, but I know that there are some differences. Which ones have you identified?
It is a lot of differences. I would say from the girls' side, and this doesn't say anything bad about boys, but the girls listen really, really well. They listen way better than what boys listen.
And they listen sooner, don't they?
Yeah. So you draw up a play. The girls are, okay, we're running that play. 1, 2, 3 team, let's go run the play. Boys say, all right, we're running this play, but as soon as they 1, 2, 3 team, they walk out and say, well, if he's not open, I'm gonna rip through this, that. So they already got their mind made. All right, if he's not open, or if I don't think he's open,
right?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
They don't give it a chance to develop.
No, yeah, but man, I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of girls here that love the game of basketball. That want to be college basketball players, want to compete, want to be held accountable. And we work hard. Our practice, I don't differ practices. Practices are the same. But yeah, one of the differences, when you draw the play, girls are gonna execute it the way you drew it up, the way you thought about it in your head, even though they're not even in your head. But they're gonna do it.
Just like you said.
Yeah, boys are throwing their little remix to it and a little swag into it, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Another difference is it's with girls it's I don't know, man. It's fun. Coaching boys is fun, but coaching girls is also fun because the speed's different. I think it's been making me a better coach. Yeah. Because with girls, they like details. They want to be, give them all the details. They ask questions and stuff, blah blah blah. They want details. With boys, you assume they know all the details, so you don't give them all the details.
Right.
But now I'm real thorough with the girls. This is what I want. This is why I want it. Because if this happened, we're gonna do this, that, blah blah blah. Well, now I'm doing it with the boys. Now instead of saying, hey, we're gonna set the screen, do this, I'm saying we're gonna set the screen because this or that, blah 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 blah. And so it's helped me as a coach because
you don't take the boys for granted anymore, huh?
Yeah, no, I don't. But it's been a fun opportunity. Girls obviously they don't play above the rim. You're not throwing lob plays and stuff like that. But I mean, I teach the game the same way. You know, we're gonna push the ball, we're gonna shoot threes in transition, we're gonna post up hard, we're gonna defend. And girls who go to war for you. I mean, it's some people ask me why are you gonna coach girls? You're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it. But I mean, I enjoy it. It's fun. Like it is actually really fun. And the biggest difference is the girls are just so open. I mean, they'll talk to you about anything and everything. The boys, they're secretive. Like I don't know if my boys got girlfriends. I mean, they just don't talk about it. They're just their business. Their business. They practice. We talk. We laugh. And I mean, that's it.
After that, 1, 2, 3 team.
Yeah, girls. I mean, they tell you they got a boyfriend. They tell you that they like this boy, this and that. They tell you that they had a bad day or had a great day. They tell you about their whole entire day. But with the boys, it's a secret. But then I think about it growing up. That's how I was. I didn't talk about my business. I just kept it a secret. But I got a lot of fun girls, a lot of funny girls, and it's been a fun experience.
How's accountability? Do you get up in them or get on to them the same way you get on to your boys? When it comes to maybe not miscues tactically, but if you're dealing with some effort issues, because teenagers are fickle. They have a day where they just don't feel like getting after it. Mm-hmm. How do you light a fire under them?
I do it the same way. I do it the same way because that's the one way I know. That's the one way that Coach Birchy did it to me, and that's all I know is if you're not going to do it correctly, I'm going to let you know. I'm going to get on to you, but I'm also going to let you know that I love you. I got your back, and let's get it right. And if I'm on to you, that just makes you should think I know you can do it, and I'm only getting on to you because I know you can do it.
True.
I wouldn't get on to you if you can't do it. I'm not going to get mad at you if I know you can't do anything. Why would I get mad at you for it?
That's right.
If I'm getting on to you, it means I believe you can do it, and
you hold it back.
Yeah, do it. It's the same way. I mean, with girls, they don't want to disappoint you. Like if they think you're disappointed in them,
right?
They get. I mean, they just. I'm sorry. Like that's just who they are. That's women. They feel like you're disappointing them. They feel bad about that. Boys, they whatever.
Yeah.
Like, with girls, like they don't want to disappoint you.
True.
So girls, I think, are harder on themselves. So I'm learning to be hard on them, but then love them because they know I love them, and then talk to them like I'm not disappointed. I just know we can do better. Right. And then I always say we can do better because I tell girls all the time, whatever your goals are, those are my goals too. Right. So if your goal is to play Division I, well, guess what? Our goal is for you to play Division I. So I always say, we need to do better, or we'll make the next shot, or I'm a fan of them and whatever their goals are, whether it's just play high school basketball, or go play college. That's my goal for them as well, and I'm gonna try to do my part as best as I can to get them there.
Man, you actually segued me into a good direction, man, because you obviously were a player in your time that you knew you wanted to play basketball after high school. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty sure you had teammates who knew that they didn't want to go and play ball after high school, and whether or not they still gave a damn enough to continue to bust their butt, that's something else. Like, how do you motivate a kid that this is it for them? They don't want to play ball past high school. It's a different way you go about getting the most out of them than you would a player who knows they want to go play college ball.
No, I get after them the same way because I say it, if you're in this locker room, if you're on the court with us, you're busting your butt no matter what it is. I had a player last year, Donovan Hurd. It was our backup 5-man. Donovan knew he wasn't going to play high school or college ball. Right. I mean, he knew he wasn't. But man, he worked so hard. I mean, because he just realized I'm going to give it my all for the time because he loved the game. I'm going to give it my all during the time I can just give it, because next year I don't have it.
Right.
And that's kind of want my kids to have the mindset. It's like no matter if you're going to play in college ball or you're just going to be a student, be happy about these 4 years you got at high school. Give it all you got because you can't go back. Mm-hmm. I worked really hard in high school, but I still wish I can go back and just work a little bit harder. And so I was fortunate enough to have a kid like Donovan that did that, and as a senior leader, and everyone else just followed. I mean, you don't have to be a college basketball player to play hard. Love the moments that you have because I mean, just now today, you know, Donovan's in college right now, and I bet he wish he could still play high school basketball. But I know he's thinking, dang, I gave him my all. So, like, I have no regrets because I gave it my all.
True.
And that's all I ask kids to do is just give it your all. No matter what your goals are after high school, give it your all because, I mean, it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. If you're working hard for something you love, you know, now go to college and whatever your major is in, your profession, you know, give that same energy. So that's another thing about, you know, teaching life through basketball. It's, you know, work hard in basketball because you love it, but once you go to college and your major and your job, work hard in that because that's what you love to do and that's what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So I go about it the same way. I don't care if you're going to play college or not. It's if you're in this program, you're in this locker room, you're on the court.
This is the standard.
Yeah, this is the standard and this is what we're going to do. And I mean, hopefully you're going to do it. And if not, you know, you don't have to be here. I'm not forcing you to be here.
I like it. Yeah. I like it. Now right now, it's November. All right, so by the time folks see this dialogue, it's going to be months later. But we're 3 months into the school year, with you having your plates full with the girls and the boys, what's a regular day of Brandon Jackson look like? All right, because I imagine you got to manage practice times and things like that for both programs. How do you do it? What's your day look like from start to finish?
Girls are here at 7:30 in the morning. We'll go 7:30 to about 9.
Okay. 90 minutes. I love that.
Yeah, and then after that, they'll go to school. I'll probably come in the office, hang out. Since we're scrimmaging now, I'm watching some film. I'll go to work, and while I'm at work, you know, when I got 5-10 minutes of free time, I'm game planning for the boys' practice. I'm coming back here around 2:00, and the boys are going about 2:30 to 4:30. Right. And then I'm basically going home, eating, watching TV. Having a practice playing ready for the girls the next morning. So it's basketball 24/7 for me. True. But I love it though because that's all I know. I was brought up through basketball pretty much. So people say, well, don't you get tired of being in the gym? No, because I've literally always been in the gym. So I don't know nothing else. Right. So I mean, I get bored at home sometimes, and I text guys, hey, I'm going to be in the gym 2 to 4, random Sunday. Yeah. You know, why am I going to the gym? I don't know. I have nothing else to do, and that's what I know. So I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to open it up because I was fortunate enough to have coaches and friends and family members to open up gyms for me. Yeah. So if I'm free, I'm going to do it for my boys. And girls.
There you go.
And girls.
And I like how you said that in there. But I think that's big because that goes back to your example from earlier saying, listen, I'm gonna dig my heels in on this and give it all I got. Yep. So now I can demand that from you. Yep. And it's like, then I think as a coach, we gotta be as available as we possibly can. So now whenever their run is over, and when I say they, I'm talking about the players, they can't say, Coach didn't provide me with all the opportunities that he could. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, whether or not they made good on them, that's up to you. Yep. You know what I mean? And on another note, have you merged your practices at all? And what I mean is, I can remember during my time coaching girls, we had a really good varsity team during the 5 years I was in Muskogee from 11 to 16. Mm-hmm. And every now and again, we would have the freshman boys come on over there and lock horns with us so we could get sort of a look. Yep. Did you ever done anything like that yet? I know it's early. Yeah, the varsity girls have, you could say, scrimmage or freshman boys. Right. But that's about it. You know, some days, you know, girls will practice after the boys on some days. So they'll watch the boys' practices. And at the end, I'll have the boys go to this side, finish the practice with a shooting drill while the girls were on this side, starting practice with the same shooting drill. Yeah. My practices, my drills don't change. So it's, you know, if the boys are doing it, girls are doing it too. I mean, you're not any different. You're basketball players. I see you as basketball players. Yes. I mean, yes, you are a girl, a young lady, but you're a basketball player. So I know basketball one way. I'm not going to teach basketball 2 different ways. There you go. But no, that's all we do. I try to keep them separate because, because they are separate. I mean, it's 2 different teams, and I want to keep them separate and know that you can keep their focus that way too.
Yeah. So it's but it's a fun process. It's a fun process that I knew I was going to enjoy, or I was hoping that I would enjoy. Right. But now, optimistic. Yeah, but now I'm living it, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy coaching both programs. It's unique. It's different. It's just two different. It's just 2 different teams. So like, yeah, we're all Mount St. Mary's, but it's really 2 different teams. Like my boys like they don't laugh in practice about anything. It'd be one or two laughs high, but we're all. I mean, it's just work. With the girls, it's a lot of laughing. We're gonna work really hard. We're doing water break. We're laughing.
Sure.
Back to hard work. With boys, it's hard work. Get a drink. Kind of just stand there. Go back to hard work. With girls, they're so relaxed. And at first I was like, man, they're so relaxed. I don't know if they're gonna work hard, this, that, blah, blah. But I said, all right, let's go do this drill. They're like, ha, boom, and they go at it.
Done.
But as soon as that drill's over and they get a little break, they're back to just so relaxed. And I'm like, that's different from boys, because boys are like so, I'm not gonna say driven, but so, I don't know, focused to where they're only focused on that one thing. Where girls, they can focus on several things and still give their all.
Yeah.
They can work hard, come back, giggle, laugh, have a good time on the sideline, and go right back to, they can flip the switch so fast. Where boys, I'm learning they really can't flip the switch. That's why they probably stay serious the whole time. With girls, it was, they can laugh, joke, let's go bust our butt, do this, and then laugh, joke, and we go bust our butt again. So it's a different feel from that, because I didn't know they were going to do it. I'm like, man, they're laughing at joke. It's not going to be a good practice. But as soon as you say do a drill, they're 100% all out. But as soon as that drill's over and they get a break, they go back to laughing, giggling, making jokes. And
so they're humans.
Yeah.
I feel that. But it sounds to me like you've got two mature teams.
Yeah.
Because, I can remember hearing that same speech being thrown to me by coaches. Hey, learn how to have fun, but still be focused. You know what I mean? So it sounds like your girls they embody that. And then the fellas, who can be, I guess you can't argue with the team that's focused.
I'm learning that you can do it both ways, because I was always the one that was always just focused. I didn't laugh in practice really. It was just straight business. Just, I'll laugh after practice. Mm-hmm. So I'm learning like you can do both. You can, it's, you look at NBA players, Steph Curry plays with a smile on his face, happy, laughing. Then you have a guy like, Kyrie. You really don't see Kyrie laugh and smile or joke a lot on the court.
Don't see a lot of emotion at all.
Yeah, so I'm learning that.
But he's having a blast.
Yeah, he's doing what he's loved. So it's two different teams, and it's unique. Girls and boys in high school are different, but they're also the same. Because they're the same age, but it's two different teams, and they go about the same goal two different ways. And
two different routes to the same destination.
Yeah, so it's unique to see that firsthand, because I'm coaching both, so it's unique to see the boys take this route to that goal, and the girls are taking this route to the goal, but they're both going the same way, or they're different ways to the same goal. Yeah. So it's just unique to see that.
And you driving both buses.
Yeah. I'm somehow driving both buses on different highways.
That's it. But I can tell you, when I first got the word that was what your schedule was going to be for this season, my mind went to one place. I'm like, man, I hope he has some good help, some good assistant coaches, man. Talk about their impact and their influence and how important it is to have good help.
My lead assistant, and actually my lead assistant, he's doing boys and girls with me, is Evan Alexander. He's he relates to the kids, boys and girls, in such a unique way, in a way that I don't think I could ever do it. When I was assistant, I haven't seen a lot of coaches be able to relate to kids the way he does. And he does it in his own style, his own way. And he's just really, he's really good at it. He's really good at building trust like that for you to trust him, to open up to him, to where he can get on to you, but you still love him. He does it in his unique way. And it's saying that his skill and development skills are off the chart. He can get a kid to not be able to dribble to, he's bringing up the ball for us, to a kid that got bad footwork, but now he's a dancer.
Wow.
I'm just saying, he does things, his skill and development that he does, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, I give a lot of credit to him when, people say, man, this kid ain't got better. I say it's just because of him. Like he does that. So I would say that's my lead assistant boys. I'm a lead assistant on the girls' side. Lady named Taylor. She's tough.
Yeah, she's your bad cop.
Man, it's weird because the first time we ever coached together was at TU team camp. And and something happened. I got mad, but at the same time I got mad, she got mad, and I never saw her mad before.
Right.
So I'm like, whoa, like this.
You thought you were coming with it.
Yeah, like I didn't know like I was getting another bad cop, but she loves the game. She's passionate about the game, and I love that. And it's like we both connect on. I mean, when I see something, she sees it, and we both got like the same response. Mm-hmm. It's weird and funny, and I'm like, man, I like this girl. Like she really loves it. She coached summer ball. She's around basketball all the time too, but. Just her intensity, her passion. She doesn't say much, but when she says something, you listen because she doesn't say much. So it's man, those two are two great assistants. I got a lot more assistants, but we'll be here all day talking about them. I mean,
that's good. You got a village though.
Yeah, I mean, my freshman coach Ian O'Daniel. I mean, I say he got the toughest job because they practice in the early mornings every single day. So if they practice at 6 a.m., I mean, he's here at 5. I mean, he loves it. Like, that's a dude that just loves the game of basketball. And you can appreciate it. I mean, he loves the game of basketball so much that he's not once complained about an early practice. He's just here. He just loves basketball. He loves teaching the game of basketball. And that's what I try to look at my assistants is, I mean, do you love the game? And I mean, are you teaching the game? And all my assistants love teaching the game of basketball.
Right.
Yep. So we got a fun staff here on both sides, and we just, we get after it every day.
That's a beautiful thing, man. Maybe not so much. This question probably won't apply to this year because you got at least one under your belt now. But in your first year as head coach, I can remember, I think I got my first gig when I was 27. And so I was young, energetic, and I had the energy to do everything myself if I could, but I had to sort of train my mind to be okay passing off responsibilities to my assistants to handle. Yeah. Did you ever go through that at all? Was it tough to delegate, or were you like, all right, man, listen, this is your job, I'm gonna let you do it?
At first, I was so hands-on with everything. I see it as if you want something a certain way, you should do it. Yeah. With that being said, you have assistant coaches to help you. For a reason. So, I was so hands-on and trying to do everything. But I got to a point like, man, I trust my coaches. So why? It's not a me show. Like, I don't have to do everything. They're willing to do it. I mean, there was times when my assistants asked, "You want us to go scout? You don't got to go, Brandon." Yeah, and I'm just like, "No, I got it. One, because I think the head coach should do it. I mean, they got families, so I mean, go hang out with your family. I do it. But I just wanted to do it. I wanted to be there. Like, so I don't know. So, but
that's not necessarily bad.
No, it's not. It's not. And I think as I get older, I mean, even this year, I mean, I've given so much responsibilities to my other assistant coaches. I mean, because I trust them. If I didn't trust them, I probably wouldn't have them. So I mean, I trust them, and it is what it is. I mean, it's something that I did at first. Like last summer, I did everything. I mean, I did everything, and now it's like I trust everybody to do what they need to do. But it's also, as a first year head coach, laying the foundation down. Right. Showing everybody you're going to do the hard work. You're going to you'll do everything if you have to. But it's also, you got to be smart and realize, use your team around you. My team is my assistant coaches.
Did somebody have to remind you of that, or did you just kind of consciously come to a point where you're like, wait a minute, I need to dial this back a little bit?
I just always think back to Coach Birchy. He did a lot. But then looking back, I'm like, man, he gave a lot of responsibilities to a lot of assistant coaches too. So though he did a whole bunch, he gave a lot of responsibility too. And at the end of the day, I tell my assistant coaches, I just say, we're all in this together. All right, here's the thing is, I'm good at this, so I'm going to work on this in practice. You're good at that. You're going to work on this in practice, blah, blah, whatever the case may be. And I mean, the common goal is to be good anyways.
I feel it.
So, I mean, it's been practices this year where, I let my assistants run it. I just sit back and watch. One is because now I get to see kind of everything without barking orders. I get to just sit back and just watch everybody. But also, my assistant coaches may want to be head coaches, so why not help them, get reps as leading practices? So, I mean, coaches did that to me in the past. Coach Fisher, McCoy, I mean, they let me run practices, and it's the same way. I mean, y'all want to be head coaches? Well, I'm going to help you. So, you got practice today. And here's
I
a
like
couple
that.
here are a couple of things I want you to go over.
Emphasize.
But you know what? You run it. I'm gonna sit back and just watch how two kids compete against each other. Right, and watch how this kid reacts to the missing a shot or something. I get to look at a whole bunch of little details just sitting there watching rather than running practice. And I may miss that kid putting his head down because he missed a shot. Because now ball's going back this way. I'm transitioning looking at this way. Now I'm not seeing them.
Yeah.
But now I get to see like every little detail. And I think, that's been good.
Heck yeah.
Yes, I think it's good. Just, you sit back and watch your coaches, how they react to kids. Some, words they use. I can say the same thing as Evan, but we say it in two different ways. He says it's his style. I say it in my style. That kid, I said the same thing to him yesterday, but Evan just said it, but he responded better to Evan saying it. So, all right, now I know, Evan, when we need to talk to this kid about that, I want you to say it your way.
That's your assignment right
Yeah, so, it helps. It helps me. It helps the coaches. But all the coaches get to hear all the coaches' voices. And that's a good thing, too, because you say things the same way, just the same words, just in different ways.
Right.
I've had parents come to me and say, you've been telling them to do this for 1 week, but I've been telling them to do it for 6 years. Mm-hmm. And, what are you saying? I said, well, what do you say? And they say it. I'm like, oh, I say that exact same thing. Yeah. And it's just, we just say it differently. Right. It's just, but.
So some parents have a rough one dealing with that. It's like, man, this little blankety blank. Yeah. I've been telling him the same thing. You said it and it clicks. But then what you're saying, I had to jump in there because that reminded me of, me and my father. Because I'm a big old daddy's boy. But at some point, I got to a point where I stopped hearing his voice. Mm-hmm. Like, it was just like same old stuff. And I think he realized it too. It was like, fall back and let the person that he is responding to.
Yeah, the different people can say the exact same sentence. You just take it differently.
Yeah.
I'm a young coach still, so I can say the same thing as a player's mom or dad, but it's just cooler. You can use the word cooler coming from me.
Right. For whatever reason.
Yeah, it's more relatable when it comes out my mouth, but it's the same message. And that's the same way as my assistants. I can say something, but if my assistants say it, that player may react better to my assistant saying it, just the way he says it or the way she says it. Uh-huh. So that's all of that stuff is what I look at when, I let my assistants run practice some days is, all right, she or he actually, listens when she says it, even though I've been saying it the last 3 months. Mm-hmm. But since I'm letting, Evan run practice, he says it. Now, for some reason, it clicks. So, all right, good. At least I know that now. So it's I do it to learn my players more, learn my assistants more. Figure out
their strengths and weaknesses and all of that.
Yeah. So we all have a goal. I know my assistants' goals are to be head coaches, and I just want to be able to help them out in that, and that's any way possible. So, I'm not a guy that's going to try to hold my assistants because I know they're really good assistants and I want them on my bench.
You only.
Yeah, but obviously I want them here, but at the end of the day, if they go be a great head coach somewhere,
you got something to do with
that. I hope I do.
Yeah.
I give a lot of credit to Kellen. I know Kellen's proud of, the stuff I did. He gave me extra. I think I probably had the most responsibility as a head coach. But he gave it to me and I wanted it. Mm-hmm. And he trusted me in it, and it just worked out really well, and it helped me transform into a head coach.
Right. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing, man. Now, summer ball, because you coach summer ball too, right?
Yep.
Tell me about that.
It's busy.
Yeah.
I actually run Trey Young Elite's basketball program now.
Okay.
And it's a different animal than high school basketball. Mm-hmm. Usually with AAU, it's all kids that are just I'm not gonna say serious because kids that just play high school basketball are serious too. Mm-hmm. But it's just like a whole nother animal, a whole nother dog. It's cut and dry. Like it's just a different animal. But it's fun. It's a different style. Right. AAU ball's a little faster. But it's it's a unique experience. It's something that helps me better as a coach. Because I coach style wise, I can coach 2 different ways, and I'm coaching a team so they can win, but I'm also, drawing up plays that, if it worked, I got that from Mount St. Mary's now. I can run it from Mount St. Mary's, but it's just being around basketball more. It's just being around basketball, but it's time consuming. It makes basketball go 12 months a year, rather just being November to March. Well, summer ball starts right after high school ball, so it's March to August. So it's a fun experience. I tell people all the time, if you don't play AAU ball or whatever, go watch it. It's just it's really good basketball. It's really good basketball. So
you mentioned a difference in your style of coaching in AAU versus high school ball. Now, I've never quite been able to pinpoint what the differences are, or at least to put it into words. Like, from your vantage point, what would you say at least one of the differences is from coaching in the summer versus coaching in the winter?
Well, I think in the summer, a lot of teams are so interested in scoring a whole bunch of points. Some coaches really don't care if they. Everybody want to win in the summer.
True.
But
doesn't seem like it's primary.
But they want to score a whole bunch of points. They want to get a lot of shots up. So it's other coaches make me kind of coach another way. 'Cause now I got to focus on like a press break in AAU practice more than I got to do in high school practice. High school practice, like 1 or 2 teams are going to press, but in AAU, every team's going to be in full court man or in a zone press. So it's just a different pace.
Right.
It's just a different pace. But I think being a high school coach helped me in the summer. I think being a summer coach helped me in high school because I see both sides. I see a team pressing the whole time. I see a team just sitting in the gaps and man to man. So I see both. So I get to coach both. So it's not a surprise when I do see it. With you guys last year, I watched y'all at John Marshall. In the scrimmage, and y'all played 4 games, so 20 minutes a game, so 80 minutes. Y'all probably took like 20 charges.
So 20 charge attempts.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's different than AAU ball. AAU ball, you don't see people taking charges. They're trying to block shots.
Right.
So, my practice, we go up and down, up and down, up and down. Well, I saw y'all, and I know we got y'all first game.
Right.
That next day in practice, that was on a Saturday. So 2 days later, on a Monday, I'm in practice. We did everything we did led to a jump stop, finish, or jump stop kick.
Right.
But that's something I would never do in AAU ball because guys aren't taking charges. So in AAU ball, I'm talking go finish above the rim, be aggressive. Don't worry about no charges. No one's taking charges.
There you go. No one's taking charges.
But in high school, the practices were so different. So I was, we went, since I saw that with y'all last year, we played each other probably 10, 12 days later or whatever. That's all we did for 10, 12 straight days. Yeah. Everything we did was jump stop, kick out. We do jump stop stuff in AAU ball, but my focus isn't that.
Yeah.
So it's 2 different pace of the game. But at the end of the day, basketball is basketball. And the main goal is to score more points than the other team.
Whether it's sexy or not.
Yeah. Coaching AAU and coaching high school ball, it helps me as an AAU coach. It helps me as a high school coach. Because in AAU, a team press. Most teams have push the ball, shoot it quick, this or that. Well, we can do that, or I can be like, all right, we're going to run a couple plays, because in high school, I run a whole bunch of plays.
That's right.
So now it's like, all right, we're going to break the press, but you know what? Let's pull it out. Let's run a play.
Make them guard us.
Yeah, because now they're not going to guard, because AAU ball people don't want to guard.
Yeah, that's it. And you learn that because the teams that press the whole game, they're disguising.
Yeah, they don't want to guard.
Contain.
They want to guard until you break it, and then they just want you to shoot fast. Just shoot fast so we go play offense. Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm AAU ball. I still want to win. That's right. We're going to break the press. Let's make them guard. Double screen 3. Be patient. Let them gamble. Backdoor, whatever the case may be. I try to. I get play both ways. But I try to mix it to where we can run up and down, but we can also pull it out and run some plays. And I think the best AAU teams are that way.
Yeah. Another thing that I think AAU kind of has a leg up on high school basketball, especially at the elite level, is that you don't have you have less fat to trim on your roster. So in other words, instead of having to keep your rotation narrowed down to 7 or 8 strong, everybody on that bench, usually at the elite level in AAU, can play. So you can go 10 deep. So now teams can press the whole game and run them dogs at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You hardly ever see a weak link. Guys coming off the bench are really good guys. I mean, I look at my good friend Kellen, his AAU team Griffin. You know, one of his best players at Norman North, who was a starter for him at Norman North, came off the bench for him with his Team Griffin team. So, I mean, you're thinking about a kid that, you know, dominated high school basketball, one of Kellen's best players, you know, coming off the bench on an AAU team. That's crazy because that kid is beyond talented. I mean, but looking back at it, on my AAU team, once I hit high school, I never started. I mean, that's how just talented kids are. You got Division I guys coming off the bench sometimes with some teams. And that's scary to think of. That's crazy to think of. But the talent level is something that, you know, I wish every person that just watches the game of basketball at the high school level can just go experience. It's just it's a unique experience. You know, going to those high major tournaments in the summer, it's just a unique experience.
Right.
And you get to see a different brand of basketball.
And you also get to see that there are levels to this. It's serious.
Yeah. So I mean, you can be a top dog at your school and in your neighborhood or in your district, but you know, you go to one of these big tournaments in Vegas or Houston, California, and you're like, oh wow, like he's for real 15 years old. Like he's 6'11", like he's 15, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
that's cheap.
I mean, yeah,
that's a cheat code.
Yeah, but it's fun, man. I enjoy high school basketball. I enjoy AAU basketball. It's all fun to me.
Yeah,
it's all fun.
Do you ever find time to take to yourself to where you decompress and just kick back, where you don't have any responsibilities or obligations, and you get to kind of be a regular dude?
I'm getting better at it.
I'm
getting better at it. For a while, it was all basketball,
And that's what you wanted too.
Yeah, and that's what I still want. But now I'm getting to where, you know, I need an off day. I need an off week. I was happy when the OSSAA came up with the dead week this past summer. Right. So the dead week is I'm not allowed to talk to my players. I'm not allowed to open the gym for them. Nothing. I thought that was the best thing in the world because I went to go visit Zabe in LA. Like I didn't have no responsibilities, and I was you know, a lot of coaches hated it. I loved it.
Did you love the idea initially, right out of the gate? You knew it was gonna be good.
No. I mean, I like the idea of it, but I didn't think it was gonna work.
Okay.
Because why can't I open the gym up for one of my players if you want to come shoot?
True.
Like
you have a hard time saying no to that.
So that sucks. I had to explain to my kids, like, you know, I can't text you back for a week. That's crazy because I check in on my boys daily. So for me to say I can't text you back, I can't open the gym for you. You know, if I bump into you, I can say, hey, what's up, and I got to keep it moving. Like it's different.
It was that rigid.
Yeah, but it was a good. It was when that happened this summer.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I need to do that more. Because one, you just come back fresh, you know, but it's just good to relax. And that's not saying I don't have a life outside of basketball. I do, but I have to force myself to go live that other life, to you know, just to, you know, hang out with my friends or go hang out for 2 or 3 days somewhere else and not try to think about basketball. You know, having that week this summer kind of opened my eyes up to saying, I mean, I really do need to do that. That's not saying I don't love what I do, but you always need to get away.
That's right. You can't give what you don't have. So you got to refill that tank. Now, what are some of your interests that don't concern basketball?
Man, I love the golf.
Really?
I love the golf.
That's not necessarily something I would have attached you to.
Man,
you know, I know I'm profiling,
but when I was younger, I used to golf a lot.
Yeah.
Then when I got to college, I stopped.
Okay.
And then I picked back up on it after I got out of college. I love the golf. It's frustrating. It's beyond frustrating, but I love to do it. It's something that I just love to do. Like, it's just, I don't know, I just love to golf. I love to bowl. I mean, I love to shop. Like people don't
Oh,
know.
really?
Like I shop all the time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm
shopping
not,
for you though, that's a lot.
oh yeah,
you know
it's,
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
it's shopping for me. I mean, whether I'm at the mall, whether
Right.
I mean online. Like I just love to shop. Like I see stuff like this jacket. Like I got this in like 3 different colors because I couldn't choose which one I wanted. Like I love to shop. Man, I'm open to really anything. Like it's the crazy thing is, I mean, last summer I went to Colorado, went hiking and stuff like that.
Dang.
Only thing,
For the first time?
yeah.
Man.
The one thing I don't do is heights though. I mean, I won't jump out of a plane. I don't like roller coasters. Anything that is high. Man, I'm not doing it. But I'm really open to anything. I mean, me and my family are really big on board games.
Okay.
Monopoly. You never probably thought Monopoly could be a very competitive game.
Mm-hmm.
We make it competitive.
Oh yeah, it's colorful, huh?
Man, it's but it's fun. It's you know, we had me and my cousins will play Monopoly. We have, you know, some friends come over to play. They're, why y'all take that so seriously? I want to win. Like, you know, yes, I want to win. And if you make a trade that I don't agree with, I don't let you know that you're cheating. You just don't want me to win. But but outside of basketball, man, I love doing anything. Like, if you say let's go do this, I'm 99% of the time, if I'm free, I'm like, all right,
let's go. Even if it's something that you have no experience.
Yeah, it's like let's go skiing. All right, like cool. Like so, I mean, I just love having a good time, whatever the case may be, and you know, a lot of people don't see that side of me. They always see me coaching, and but man, I just love having a good time, whatever it is.
That's good, man. Sounds like you're working to find that balance.
Yeah, I'm putting a focus on finding that balance. At first, I wasn't putting a focus on it, but now I'm really trying to focus on finding that balance. And it is helping me. I mean, it's helped me. I think, you know, with my sister coaching college volleyball, I find a time. I make sure I go to her games. Like,
where's she coaching at?
Southwestern Christian.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
So I find the time to do that. You know, but I just find times to do everything now. I mean, I'm putting a focus on doing other things outside of basketball. Because I mean, you should, you know, you should, but it's also fun. I mean, it's fun. I get to watch my sister do something she loves, and that's coaching. Oddly enough, because I'm a coach, but I go watch my dad ref. I mean, you know, being around family. If I'm out not playing basketball, not coaching basketball, I'm probably with family. Family is the biggest thing in the world to me.
And it sounds like y'all got a hell of a lot in common too, so that ain't hard.
We got a lot in common, and I tell people all the time, if you want to see a competitive family, you know, just come hang around my family.
Come
it's fun. But we don't know nothing else.
True.
We've always competed against each other. We always try to help each other, and I tell people all the time, my biggest fights that I've ever had in my life was with my family, like my cousins. Like we play 1-on-1. One of us lose. Yeah, like we are the most competitive games I've ever seen 1-on-1 wise have came inside my family.
Yeah.
And it came out of nowhere. We were just shooting at the gym. You know, someone say, "Nah, you missed 3 in a row. Don't talk to me. You can't shoot." That's right. And then it turns into 1-on-1, and and it turns into, we thought we were just going to be hanging out, having a good time for a second. Then we're going to go to our family dinner. So we're an hour late to family dinner because we had to play 1-on-1 and we had to play again. So
run that back.
Yeah, so it's but that's, I mean, being that way all my life, I think it's just helped me just be competitive. Just be competitive, compete, and you know, have fun with it.
Yeah, they never say die attitude.
Yep.
Man, I got 3 more things I want to throw at you, and I'm gonna turn you loose on this Saturday night. All right. Best player versus leader, and where I'm getting at is, I've seen some situations. As a matter of fact, I've been a part of a lot of situations where the leader, the vocalist on a team, is not necessarily the most talented individual, and may not be a starter, may not be a major tangible contributor, but this kid had the most reach with his or her voice, had some credibility out of nowhere. What do you feel about that? Would you like your best player to be your most effective leader? Does it have to be that way for you?
Both ways. I've seen it both ways. Obviously you want your best player to be vocal, but I think the most important thing for your best player is your best player needs to be the hardest worker.
There you go.
Vocal wise, Xavier was the best player I played with, but he wasn't a vocal leader. That just wasn't him.
Wasn't his personality.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. He led by example. He led, hey, I'm working hard. Y'all just better follow. Rather than with me, I led with my voice and then with example as well. So I think both are very important to a team.
Right.
I think you try to encourage your best player to be a little bit more vocal, but if he's the hardest worker or trying to be the hardest worker and lead by example, I think that's better than being vocal.
Yeah.
But I think they're both very important to teams. You need someone that's vocal. You need someone that can be vocal and, people can listen to him.
True.
It can't be a guy that, is vocal, yelling, do this, do that, but they're not doing it.
He ain't pulling no weight.
So it doesn't matter if he's scoring 20 points or 2 points. If he's doing what he's supposed to do and he's vocal, you should follow that leader. So you can lead by many different ways.
Gotcha.
And I think, the great teams have both. They have their best players that work hard, and yes, they may be vocal, or you may have a guy, 8th or 9th man, that's the vocal one, but he's always doing what he's supposed to do.
True.
And that's, if he's doing what he's supposed to do, why shouldn't you follow him? Why shouldn't you listen to him? So,
and by the way, you just made me think, y'all won the state championship in 06, correct?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were juniors. And, I got to plug me in there because I played at Tulsa Central. We had to get that one.
Yeah.
In the same year, a couple hours before y'all got y'all in 5A, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So who was the vocalist on that team, man? If Xavier was the leader.
Xavier was a freshman that year. I was a sophomore. Keith Clark was a senior. The vocal one, I would probably say it was probably me and Demetrius Young. We called him Michi.
Yeah.
And Michi was vocal, but and I say that it's going to contradict myself. He wasn't a talkative person, but when he said something, you listen because he didn't say much.
Okay.
So I was always talking.
Always.
So, some days like, man, here go Brandon again talking. Like,
right.
when Michi said something, it was like, yo, shut up. He's talking. Yeah. He doesn't talk. Let him talk.
This counts.
So, Moose and Xavier were our top dogs. And, Moose was a good leader as well. But, Xavier and Moose, led by example. Me and Michi were the vocal leaders, and I was probably the leader of that. But it was just a good balance. It was a good balance of older guys like Moose, who was a senior going to OU, young guys like Xavier just stepping in. So we had a good mix. We had a good mix of leaders. I think we're all leaders in a way. Moose led in a way that no one else kind of could do it his way. Xavier led in a way that I couldn't do. I led in a way that those guys couldn't do. So we all kind of was the leaders. We just did it in all unique ways, and that's what helped us, win a state title, be a really good team.
That's good stuff, man. Now, in your philosophy, question number 2, right, as a coach, what's the difference between preseason and off-season?
Preseason, off-season
are the regimens the same or different?
I think so. Preseason, you're trying to get. I say in preseason, you're trying to get more shape, conditioning.
Right.
All season, you're just getting stronger. Now, preseason, you're getting stronger too.
Right.
But in off season, you're. I don't think I've ever. Well, I did because Coach Birchy made us run no matter what.
Yeah, right.
But with my kids, we don't really condition after.
After season.
After season, it's just lifting.
Right.
It's lifting and skill stuff.
Right.
So I didn't
getting up and down.
Yeah. Lifting, but just getting better, just, one-on-one skill work or whatever. Preseason, it's a lot of conditioning. It's getting in shape, getting in real shape.
Right.
And then also, getting a little bit stronger, but your main focus is really getting in shape. So that's probably the biggest, or the difference is preseason, your focus is on getting in shape. Off season, it's let's get stronger.
I feel that.
And you do a little bit of both on the other side, but I think that's where it is.
I feel it makes a lot of sense because the season is right around the corner. It's on deck.
Yep.
All right. Now, last thing. This is usually a lot of times this is my favorite question to ask when I got coaches or former players like yourself. I call it all due disrespect, right? And what I mean is, we all we talked about living with no regrets or very few regrets, but I'm pretty sure if you dig back in the archives, there's an opponent that you played against during your days as a player, or maybe that you coached against during your career as a coach that you lost to, and you still feel to this day you were the better man, or your team was the better team, but they just got you, and you wish you could go back and do that one again. Yeah. Who was that for you?
Man, my senior year, we lost to Tulsa Memorial in the first round of the state tournament.
Wow.
And if I can go back any time in my playing career, it's to that game. Not that I did anything wrong or my teammates did anything wrong. It's just the fact that we knew we were the better team.
Right.
If there was a point spread in high school basketball, we were favorites big time. And we were never big headed,
Right.
but we were thinking ahead because we knew we were the best team like in the state. So that was no question. And it was if I can go back to that and just make sure we were super dialed. We was always dialed in, but just super dialed in. It was the guard that guarded me that game. I'm 6'5", 6'6". He was like 5'6". But I never posted up once. I never posted up once. And looking back, it's like, man, I should have went to Coach Birchy and said, hey, just let me post. I know it's nothing we never do, but let me post up. Let me post up. They have to double. I kick it out to the shooters. Just let me be the point guard from the post. I mean, that's one game I wish I can bring back. Another game was that same year. We only lost 2 games that year.
Really?
The first game we lost was over Thanksgiving break to Duncanville, who was the #1 team in the nation. We played them in the championship game in Arkansas.
Okay.
And it was the day we played them. It's the day Sports Illustrated came out and had them listed as the #1 team in the nation. It had them on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Ooh.
So we played them that same day. A minute to go, we're up by 6.
Oh no.
And
it sounds painful already.
Yeah, but I look back at it, it's like, I don't know why I didn't go get the ball. Not that I probably could have made the same mistakes, who knows? But I'll look back at it, it's like, that was my senior year, that was my team, and I wasn't demanding of getting the ball.
Right.
And I just look back like, dang, if we would have beat them, we were already top 10 in the nation anyways, but we beat them, man, we could have been #1 in the nation, that, blah, blah. So actually my 2 losses my senior year, if I can go back, it'd be those 2 games.
That's how we're hard on ourselves as competitors. I'm pretty sure you got a lot more good moments than bad ones.
Yeah.
The bad ones are in the front.
Oh man, the bad
ones. Else in the back.
Yeah, I had a great high school experience.
Yeah.
Basketball wise, school wise, but when you say high school, that's like the first thing I think of. Those 2 losses, and I had 100 wins in high school. That's crazy.
True.
I had 100 wins and 11 losses.
Right.
And I will talk about those 11 losses before I even talk about those 100 wins. It's crazy, but that's just how I am. I'm such a competitor. So I just wish I can go back and get those wins. Just that one little being lazy, one possession, or whatever the case may be. And so that's what I appreciate my kids, always go all out, because you're gonna look back and be like, dang, I could have dove for that ball. I could have did this and did that. I just didn't. I didn't think in the first quarter it would have made a big deal anyways.
Right.
So
I think we can come back from that one.
Yeah. So that's those are 2 moments I wish I can go back on. Player wise, it's not a player I just like, man, I wish I could go back and just play him because he got the best of me.
Right.
I think
that's a fortunate feeling.
Yeah. So it's not one I'm like, man, they just got the best of me. I would say the worst feeling game, even though it was a team effort that we all got killed on. It was we was in Dallas my sophomore year. We won state.
All right.
We were in Dallas playing.
Battle test.
We played Dallas Carter, who had Michael Crabtree and his entire offensive line.
Dual sport, baby.
But man, he was good.
Yeah.
He was, and he got the best of all. We all got about 10 dropped on us. He was good. And the next game we played 2 guys. One went to Vanderbilt. The other guy, I can't remember where they went. One had 42, and the other one had 28. It wasn't just me. It didn't matter who was guarding them. It was
everybody the work.
So it was I wish I could go back and guard them again. I'm I wish I could have guarded them the whole time to see, rather than all of us get our head busted in. I wish it was just me to see if I could slow them down.
Right.
But, the game after that, we played Willie Warren.
Yeah, here you go.
And
I'm moving that man.
he gave us 38. But here's the crazy thing. I'll say all that. All these guys giving us buckets. We won the tournament.
Oh, still okay.
Yeah, but it was one of those.
Competitive.
But it was one of those where it's dang, everyone's having a career night against us.
Right.
Why? Why is it us? But it was, in Dallas they play so fast, so we wasn't able to get matched up to our right matchup. So we were just locating men.
Mm-hmm. So you switched their possession basically.
So we all got the 40 put on us. But I just wish I was able to just guard that guy the whole time, or if it was, Birchy was supposed to guard him the whole time, that just guard him the whole time to see if he can really go off.
Right.
But I wish I can go back and just guard those guys the whole time. They was able to slow it up. Just let me guard you now. Let's see if you can score.
See if you can handle it.
So those are some high school moments where I just wish I could go back and they I would say they got the best of me because they did have a lot of points and they just had a lot of points in all of us. But I just wish I can just go back and I can just guard them the whole possession. Like in high school in Oklahoma, we don't play that fast. We play fast, but not that fast. So whenever my assignment was to stop this guy from PC North, I was able to locate him every possession. They don't play as fast. So I'm able to locate him, so I'm able to guard him the whole time. But going to those Texas tournaments, they played so fast, he wasn't able to get there. And
getting it off the glass and out of the net.
Yeah. So, so you got, another guy guarding him that maybe not a good defender or just not a good matchup for him to guard anyways. Right. And I was like, dang, I wish they weren't that fast in transition where I could locate them and guard them the whole time.
I feel it. Yep. Oh man, ultimate competitive.
Yep.
Good luck on the season.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you allowing us to come through in your house and show you some love.
Leaving the Venus alone. Me with a squid.